Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Kazan Baluyot, a physician who has been practicing internal medicine and adult cardiology in the province of Bohol since 2011. Aside from my medical practice, I'm involved in several non-governmental organizations, such as the Philippine Medical Association, Rotary International, and the Philippine College of Physicians, or the PCP. It was in my capacity as a member of the PCP that I was invited to present during the MAPSA Climate Change Mitigation Laudato Si conference endorsed by His Eminence Cardinal Chito Tagle for MAPSA and CAAP teachers and administrators on April 24 to 26, 2019. The Philippine College of Physicians is an organization of around 10,000 internists and is primarily involved in setting the highest standards and ethical ideals in the practice of internal medicine and in providing dynamic leadership in the promotion of health and quality of life, in the management of disease, and in the formulation of relevant health policies. While it might sound a bit strange why doctors are involved in climate change, one of PCP's core mission is to being responsive to the changing environment. This is the heartbeat of the PPCP Climate Change Committee, first chaired by Dr. Jonathan Hadlock. The effects of climate change are not limited to the weather. Professor Hugh Montgomery, co-chair of the 2015 Lancet Commission on Health and Climate Change, in June 2015 had declared that climate change is a medical emergency. Why so? Because health is affected by several factors that are directly related to climate change, such as extreme weather events, air pollution, heat stress, food, water, allergens, infectious disease, and mental health. The poor, the elderly, the young, those with pre-existing medical conditions, as well as the mentally ill, are the most vulnerable to extreme heat. In 2003, for example, Europe was hit by a major heat wave that caused an estimated 70,000 deaths. These events have occurred all over the world. Another example occurred in southern Pakistan in June 2015, where more than 800 people died during an extreme heat wave. Climate change is also disrupting natural ecosystems in a way that is making life better for infectious diseases. A lot of tropical diseases have been moving to higher latitudes, and of course, air transportation is a major factor in this. But the climate crisis is changing the conditions on where these diseases can take root and become endemic. We see this happening now as several diseases have spread to new areas in recent years, from malaria reaching the highlands of eastern Africa to the rising incidence of Lyme disease in North America. Studies are increasingly naming the changing climate as a contributing factor. Additionally, warmer temperatures can increase the number of days that are conducive for many vectors to reproduce, while in some cases allowing them to reproduce faster. That is why we have two priority programs in the PCP Climate Change Committee. They are knowledge and capacity development and biodiversity conservation. When it comes to knowledge and capacity development, we have focused on giving climate change lectures and a climate change curriculum change for medical and tertiary education. From the voluminous data available, the challenge was to come up with a sensible, factual, and relevant simple story that spanned all age brackets. With the slides and the transcript printed, PCP came up with a black book in August 2016. This is an arsenal to educate anybody from elementary students to postgraduate professionals. This contains the history and science of global warming, effects, elements of climate change, mitigation and adaptation strategies, categories, and final challenges in a lecture format. We also have given climate change education to our PCP members during our conventions, such as in one of our major conventions held in Palawan last 2018. But we also teach Students and teachers of various provinces and cities all over the Philippines, such as this education outreach to over 700 students and teachers of the Capiz National High School in Rojas City, done by the PCP Capiz Aklan chapter. When it comes to the climate change curriculum for medical and tertiary education, Secretary Manny de Guzman of the Climate Change Commission has approved and supported the proposal of the PCP to lead in the development of climate change curriculum for medical education. This project is in partnership with the Climate Reality Project Philippines, the Commission on Higher Education, the Association of Philippine Medical Colleges, and Climate Change Commission of the Philippines. The dream to incorporate climate change curriculum in medical and tertiary education was inked last February 7, 2019. The Memorandum of Understanding to incorporate climate change curriculum in medical and tertiary education was signed by Dr. Chad Karungin of the Philippine College of Physicians and by Secretary Manny de Guzman of the Climate Change Commission of the Philippines. The second priority program of the PCP Climate Change Committee is biodiversity conservation. For this, we have two main thrusts. Since 2016, we have had an annual November 8th Day of Rising and tree planting, coinciding when Yolanda's checked the Philippines. Through the years, we have involved our different 30 PCP chapters nationwide, along with other sectors of the community, to be able to plant different types of trees and mangroves. We are also pushing to adopt 10 sites for 10 years as a conservation project, such as this launching of the said project last November 8, 2018, represented by Dr. Mario Panaligan, who is our current national president of the PCP, and Dr. Jay Hadlock, who is the founding chair of the PCP Climate Change Committee. In Borawan Leyte, we adopted the Mahagna Volcano Natural Park, wherein we planted lawaan and narrow trees, which will hopefully absorb carbon molecules in time. The PCP continues to look forward with our advocacy committee on climate change in pushing our said priority programs for the climate crisis. To date, we have given lectures to over 33,000 participants and planted over 18,000 trees. We would like to invite the 2020 CEAP Congress participants to get the details of the different lectures from the source book that we are working on with Rex Publishing, which will soon be out. Thank you.